In parts 1 and 2 of this MicroSD card series, I demonstrated which cards to use, how to program the data logger to store data to a card, and how to swap cards in the field. In this video, I will demonstrate how to retrieve data from a card and how to convert the data from binary to a human-readable format. Data stored on a card can be retrieved through a communications link to the data logger, such as a radio, cellular modem, or USB cable, or by removing the card and carrying it to a computer. With large files, transferring the card to a computer may be faster than collecting the data over a communications link. First, I will discuss data collection over a communications link. Data can be transferred to a computer remotely using Campbell Scientific data logger support software, such as PC400 or LoggerNet. The data logger accesses data on the card as needed to fill data collection requests initiated with the Collect button in the software. There is no need to distinguish whether the data is to be collected from the CPU memory or a card, because the software will look for data in both locations. This is true regardless of whether cardout or table file is used to store data to the card. However, it is important to note that when table file is used, only data in the currently open file is accessible to fill data collection requests from software. In contrast, when cardout is used, the file remains open until the card is removed from the data logger, which means all records in a cardout table are accessible to fill data collection requests. For table file, after a file on a card is closed, it can be copied from a data logger via FTP, HTTP, email, or file control. See the CRBasic help for details on using the FTP client, HTTP post, and email relay instructions to copy files from a data logger to a computer. Files on the card can also be collected using the LoggerNet File Retrieval tab. However, it is important to change the base time on the File Retrieval tab so the file retrieval and file writing are not occurring at the same time, which could cause file corruption. For example, if the table file interval is set to 1 hour, the base time should be set to an odd number to avoid retrieving the file at the top of the hour. Setting the base time to 12:07 would set a 7-minute offset, so file retrieval would occur 7 minutes after the top of the hour. See the LoggerNet help for details. As discussed in the previous video, to remove a card from the data logger, it is important to press the eject button before removal so the buffered data will be transferred from the CPU buffer to the card. The status LED will turn green when it's okay to remove the card. Once the card is back at the office, use a USB memory card reader to view the files on the card and transfer the files to the computer. The ViewPro client in LoggerNet or PC400 may be used to preview data in the files. ViewPro displays the data in ASCII or text format, but the data on the card is still in binary or TOB3 format and must be converted to ASCII before it can be used or viewed by other software. The format conversion from binary to ASCII is accomplished with the Card Convert application that's included in LoggerNet and PC400. Both cardout and table file option 64 store data in TOB binary format because it is much faster and more efficient to copy binary data from the CPU to the card than any other format. A limitation of binary data is it is not human readable. For example, if I open the TOB3 file in Excel, the data collected from the data logger is unreadable. So the binary data files stored on a card must be converted to ASCII or TOA5, which is a human readable format. This is accomplished with the Card Convert application that's included in LoggerNet and PC400. Open Card Convert. Click Select Card Drive to locate the MicroSD card with the data to be converted. Select the desired file or files. All the available files can be checked or unchecked in the Options menu. Click Change Output DIR to select where the converted files will be saved. Click Start Conversion to convert the selected files. Now these data files have been converted to ASCII, they are ready for additional processing and analyses. If card write errors are occurring on a regular basis, ensure the card being used is compatible with the data logger. Only industrial-rated cards are sturdy enough for field use. Even among industrial-rated cards, different cards have different write and access speeds. To ensure card compatibility, it is recommended to purchase cards directly from Campbell Scientific. Always press the eject button and wait for the ACT LED to turn green before removing the card from the data logger. Otherwise, write errors may occur. Confirm the card is formatted as FAT32. Check the card for damage, nix on the edge, or scratch traces. Write errors may occur if writing and remote retrieval of data from a card are occurring at the same time. To avoid file corruption, set a time offset between file writing and retrieving. For example, when using table file, if the data storage interval is 1 hour, then file retrieval should not be scheduled at the top of the hour. Instead, use an offset such as 3 minutes after the hour for remote file retrieval. Find out more by visiting Campbell Scientific online help resources such as online data logger manuals, and by viewing the CRBasic help for card out and table file.